So why the name Families Working Together?
Because I believe that's what we have to do. The name came to me in the middle of the night, and it was like, because families need to work together. That's how we accomplish things, is by pooling all of our resources, and we all have them, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
Put it together, and there's strength in unity, and there's strength in numbers. And so that's it just came.
And multi-generational families are very common
Oh, yes.
in Native communities.
Oh,
And
yes.
so you
Yes.
have such a wide breadth of knowledge and strength to draw from. And keeping that family unit together is really important
It's
too.
very important, yeah.
Welcome to this week's episode of 50 Faces of Feeding South Dakota. Today we're on the road in Wamblee, South Dakota, still having conversation around food access and challenges and opportunities within Native communities and on Native reservations. So I'm with Mary today. Mary, why don't we get started with you kicking it off and telling us about yourself?
Okay, well, thank you for coming out, and thank you for featuring what we're doing. I am by past profession a nurse, teacher, naturopathic doctor who kind of moved out here because I saw needs and I felt like I had some resources to be able to fill some of those needs.
So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, let's help give kind of context of where we're at. So we're in Wamblee.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about where Wamblee is located. And, I took a lot of wide open spaces getting here today.
Yes, you did. Wamblee is in the very edge of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. We're located near the Black Hills. It's really a beautiful setting.
Yes.
Wamblee in and of itself is a small village, pretty isolated from the rest of the reservation, which is probably good and bad within itself.
Sure.
But it really is a beautiful place.
Because so it's on the eastern edge.
Yes.
And so closer to the Rosebud Reservation.
Closer to the Rosebud.
And not far from where the time zone changes.
Not at all.
But on my way here, you're right. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful. A little bit of Badlands look,
Yeah.
the start of the Badlands, those bluffs. Lots of open spaces, but not much more than that. I mean, there wasn't a lot of towns, gas stations, grocery stores, all those things.
None of the above. You learn, and I'm grateful for having grown up rural in Wisconsin, because it would be kind of scary if you didn't know that you need to prepare. You can't wait until the last minute and say, oh my goodness, I'm out of gas. What do I do now? Well, you sit there is what you do.
Or if your vehicle breaks down.
Yes, you're really at the dependency of people. Unfortunately, they do have organizations, the Angel Group, which comes out and helps people, the Guardians. But, it's rural. And rural in and of itself has its own issues. You can't decide to bake a cake today and not have sugar.
Right.
You're just not going to bake that cake.
Right. You have to. It's about preparedness.
It is.
It's about
very
thinking
much
ahead.
So. Yes.
So, you mentioned you grew up in Wisconsin.
Yes, I did.
What brought you here? Tell me a little bit about how you were introduced to this area.
Okay, I was introduced to this area, oh my goodness, maybe 8 years ago. I was a nurse at the University Hospital, and the unit clerk on the floor that I worked on was a geometry teacher during the week. On the weekends, she was the unit clerk. She would bring kids out, high school kids from her geometry class, to do service projects. And she knew that I had worked with other indigenous groups in other places, and I was kind of always ready for an adventure. And so she asked if I would come because it was a school-related trip.
Sure.
She needed a healthcare person. And I said, well, I've never heard of Pine Ridge, but sure, why not? So I did. I did that for 3 years. I came out.
Every summer?
And every March.
Every March, okay.
Little did I know it was that cold, so seriously, I was wearing my flannel pajamas under my jeans
In
and
March.
my coat in March because it's cold.
So that was how you were first introduced
Yes.
to this area. Was it Wamblee that you came to, or was it?
It was not. It was with another group that was not functioning here in Wamblee necessarily, but we met people that worked for that
Sure.
same organization. We were doing beds. We were building beds for kids.
Oh.
And so part of their project the kids they had to watch a ton of movies, Native-related movies, and they also had to make star quilts because it was a geometry class.
Wow.
So we would bring quilts, pillows, blankets, stuffies, books, and a flashlight for these kids that didn't have a bed prior to that. And I thought, oh my goodness. I've worked rural before, but
Not like this.
not in this day and age. This should not be. This should not be.
So that was really kind of what sparked your
Yes.
interest or passion for serving Native communities. What got you here?
What got me here is we met a couple that was also working for this organization. They were local and they were from Wamblee. And so we kind of struck up a friendship and they said, well, come out and try it. So for probably 3-4 years, we came and went with supplies, with stuff, coats, food, whatever we could collect. And then I finally said, we built a house for a guy, kind of a tiny house. He was living in the back of a pickup camper for 20 years,
Wow.
minus the pickup. It was a camper
Just the
on the
camper.
ground. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And so we built a house for him. And then I thought, I talked to my husband. I said, we're coming out. We're doing all this stuff. It feels like a black hole. If we're going to see change, I'm that believer that you got to be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
And he was a contractor at the time, and he was just about ready to retire. I had already retired. And he said, okay, I'll sell my company and we'll go out there. And so we did. We came out. And
The first time I met your husband, he said, we were going to travel the world.
yeah, he thought we were.
And when I said to Mary, okay, we're ready to travel the world, she said, you go ahead. I'm gonna go back to Pine Ridge. I thought that was such a lovely story.
Well, sort of in fairness to him, I actually had traveled. I was a traveling nurse for about 8 years.
So you weren't necessarily...
I was kind of done traveling, and I had had an opportunity to go abroad multiple times.
Yeah.
So I just thought, an RV and a resort is not going to work for me. I'm going to finish 8 books, and then I'm going to be done with that foolishness. So I needed, and I still feel this way, that I did not have all these resources just to let them decay in my head because I'm not doing what I need to be doing.
Yeah. So you make this decision. He's like, let's go. I'll sell my company. You get all the things, you pack it up, and you head to South Dakota.
Yep.
Why Wamblee?
Wamblee, because of the couple that we knew was from here.
And so what was Wamblee like when you got here?
Apathetic.
Okay.
I just didn't see change. I didn't, I'm that person that believes if you invest in something, something will happen. And we were community organizers from way back. We're civil rights workers. So we knew about how to try to create change and how to do all of that.
That's a movement within.
It was a movement within. And we just started doing things, the stuff that we knew to do, building relationships, because it's all about building and establishing relationships. You'll
Trust is a
accomplish
really-
nothing if you don't. And we were outsiders.
Yeah.
And as I told my husband, we'll always be the outsiders. That's okay, but we'll be trusted outsiders because we're willing to do what we say we do.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people that come out and say, oh, promise the world, but
Then they don't come back.
they don't come back. And the kids know that. They'll tell you in a minute, no, you're not coming back.
Oh, wow.
So, oh yeah, because
Wow.
they've had it happen to them
Yeah.
so many times. So I can understand the apathy because we feed into it. It's different now. It's different now. I'm family. I'm part of the village.
Yeah.
My husband died this spring, and it was like a family member had died. Everybody said, so are you packing up and leaving? And I said, go where?
Yeah.
No, my house is
This is
here.
home.
I'm home. And they said, well, good. We're going to put you in our circle and take care of you for a while. And it was pretty impressive to
That
me.
is really nice.
I really felt wanted and loved and cared for, and I still do.
Well, I think this is my 3rd or 4th time here to Wamblee, and you can see it, that you are part of the community, that what you've built is a gathering place.
Yes.
And it's a central place. And so let's talk about that a little bit, because you built a building.
Yes.
And it's called Families Working Together.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about how you decided to build what you built and what you want to do with that space.
Okay. Sure. It's kind of twofold. It is a gathering place. It's a place where we do classes, where we have, probably if you need it, we probably have it somewhere upstairs.
I've been upstairs. You're right. You're probably right.
And it changes all the time. I mean, there's a sewing center, a quilting center, there's a food pantry, there's clothes, blankets, whatever, and probably some miscellaneous that I don't even know. But it's also, we have a huge dining room table. So anybody that's hungry can just walk in at mealtime and eat. And this summer we've had tourists stop by and have some food with us, or it's a cup of coffee, or it's in the winter it's a warming station and maybe watch a movie, or
So the first time I came out, I came with Patrick, our Byerly, our community partnership coordinator for our tribal communities. And he said to me, do not eat before you go because they will feed you. And Mary, I don't think you weren't there the first time I came out.
Right.
But Georgia was there and Bob was there. And I sat down at that table, which is, in my opinion, the best table because it is not a showroom floor table.
No.
It is a old, long table with mismatched chairs. But I don't even think I was in the building 5 minutes. And I was being offered a seat, and a bowl of the best soup I've ever had was put in front of me. And, it really, while we were sitting there, a gentleman walked in from outside, and he came in to eat, and he sat down, and he visited with us, and we got to know him. But you have this little kitchen built right there by that table. And, so your building is this big Morton type shed.
Yes.
Big open space, right? And then there's a kitchen. And the kitchen, every time I come, the kitchen is lit. And it's just like this beacon of light when you walk in. And then that table is in front of it. And I've tried to take photos for our newsletter, and it never turns out. And I think it's because you have to be here to understand the magic of it. I really do.
I think you do too. There really is a feeling in the building, and we're very protective about that feeling in our building. It's on our door in Lakota. It says, "Come in with a good heart." We mean that.
Yeah.
It needs to be the safe spot. It needs to be the place where you can come in and just go, and people do that, and you can physically see them do that. And for me, that's the best feeling. That's what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted to create, was that place that is a safe spot.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, the meal, you serve a meal every day, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And anybody can come. There's no fee. Every day it's different. Who knows, right? You come to eat.
You just,
Yeah. But there's like almost like a little living room, like some comfortable couches and chairs right by the heater, and then a lot of books.
Yes.
And this is the only quote library in town, right?
It is now. We are in the process with the collaboration of a group called One Library at a Time.
Okay.
We have about close to 3,000 books sitting at Crazy Horse School. We're waiting for them to get the room ready.
Wow.
We're ready to set the library up.
Oh.
So there will be a library here.
And it has been a good resource to have in the community, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, we have our own little library. And we have a little reading library outside the building, which we just built from pallets. Because I'm a big recycle, reuse person. You use what you got.
Work smarter, not harder, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I tell the kids, don't bring the books back. This is not a lending library. This is a you can take it library. And we've collaborated with Crazy Horse during the school year. We do food packs for every weekend for the children. We try to be healthy. I believe that we need to be serving our kids healthy food. We've been blessed with the gift of a freeze dryer.
Yeah.
So we freeze dry fruits and vegetables and
makes them last so much longer.
Oh, yes. And they can go in the food packs. Kids are used to eating chips. Well, how about an apple chip or a pear chip, and they will eat them. I've never heard a kid yet say, "Oh, no, don't put that in there," because it's like eating candy, because it's
Well,
good.
And from your nursing standpoint, I mean, diabetes is very prevalent within Native communities because of the types of food.
Yes.
And so it is really, really important, not just for food access, but for nourishing the body and changing that health condition and helping them to, hopefully not be pre-diabetic or diabetic or hypertension. There's a lot of that as well.
Well, there is, and all of that leads then into I personally have never lived in a village this small that has as many people on dialysis. And you have to drive a long ways for
I was going to say, there's not a hospital.
No,
I didn't see one.
No, there is no
or
dialysis
even a clinic
here, and it's hemodialysis, which means they have to go to the clinic. If they did peritoneal, they could do it home, but it is not that. It's using the blood, it's transferring the blood in and out. But the other part of that too, and it definitely is the food. It's just that whole lack of knowledge. There's a big lack of knowledge. And the other part of that is also there's constant stress. There's just everything seems to be an emergency. So my favorite saying is, your lack of planning doesn't constitute an emergency for me because, and that's another thing I'm trying to encourage people, think ahead.
Yeah.
Think about what's going to happen tomorrow. How are you going to plan this out? Because stress in and of itself will raise the cortisol level. So if you're already predisposed to diabetes and the food is feeding into that and the stress is feeding into that, it's like a one-way street.
That seems like a lot to combat.
Yes, it is.
So how do you do that?
One person at a time, one class at a time. And the other part of that's why relationships are so important. I basically had to prove that I know
You know what you're talking about.
Right, I know what I'm talking about. And now I have people, I've lived here long enough and done enough stuff that people are saying, oh yeah, Mary knows what she's talking about. And they will come down.
You're like the medicine woman.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I just kind of figure I'm the crazy old lady who knows some herbal remedies down the street. But
you don't have to take a drive.
I don't.
Just stop on up at Families Working Together.
That's right. And I have given lots of herbal remedies out. We've done a foraging class, and we're probably going to do another one in the spring. And then out of that, we also make tinctures and salves and stuff like that, because there's stuff out there.
And that's connecting back to cultural importance of the land and the plant. And, it's not just about medicinal. It's about all the things that are here that can be consumed or used in different ways, and to use what nature has given us.
Go back and connect. Connect with your ancestors. Connect with the land. We talk about it. We need to do it.
What do your classes look like? Do you get really good interest in that? Is it across generations?
It is across generations. In fact, we're getting more young people, which is exciting to me because they've forgotten. But we get elders too. So we get it pretty much across generational boards. For a while, I had a cooking class with the kids. I had like 12 kids who would come in every Sunday, and we would cook something, and then we would sit down and eat it as a family meal. Wow. It was called Creative Kids in Grandma's Kitchen, I think is what they call it.
I love it. I love it.
I haven't done it for a while. I'm kind of thinking about doing it again when the fall hits. It was fun. It was just fun, and a lot of it was we would use stuff out of the garden, but I could get the kids to eat raw zucchini. They loved it. Spinach. They loved it, because they grew it.
Yes.
And that's the other part, too, is now we have gardens growing because we do gardening classes.
Around town.
Yes. And people are starting to bring me stuff from their garden, which is...
To make the meal that you make every day.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's pretty exciting. I got up this morning, and here's 4 bags of donated clothing that someone drops off. We are that place now.
It's known.
It is known.
So why the name Families Working Together?
Because I believe that's what we have to do. The name came to me in the middle of the night, and it was like, because families need to work together. That's how we accomplish things, is by pooling all of our resources, and we all have them, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
Put it together, and there's strength in unity, and there's strength in numbers. And so that's it just came.
And multi-generational families are very common in Native communities.
Oh,
and so you have such a wide breadth of knowledge and strength to draw from. And keeping that family unit together is really important, too.
It's very important, yeah. Yep.
So we talked about the meal and the kitchen table, the library, and the weekend food during the school year. You also, though, do like community food boxes, right?
Oh, yes,
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sure. We do food boxes. We were doing it a couple times a month. Now we realize that what we can do is, again, we're trying to teach people, plan ahead, decide, don't eat it all today just because you got it today. You got to plan
when
it
you're
out
hungry,
a little bit. When
that's
you're
hard.
hungry, it's very hard, and that's what happens. Is also, and for me, a fair amount of it is making better purchase choices. Decide to make a list for the week. What do I want to fix my family? And how can I purchase food that I'm not all going to eat up today?
Right.
So I'm not going to eat that whole box of cereal today. I'm going to plan some other things that maybe I can stretch that out some. Because I think that's really important. Otherwise, it's feast and famine all the time, and you never break away from that. So again, it's planning. It's learning how to plan, and that's hard when you have a nickel that you're trying to make into a quarter.
Yeah.
But with some planning, with some effort, with some combined, we give out basically staples, that kind of stuff. And we do that once a month, usually around the 18th, because that's when people are pretty much hungry.
Yeah.
And we will.
Because if they're on any food benefits,
Yes,
or receiving any of the tribal food commodities,
Yes.
they're usually gone by
They're gone
about
by
the middle
then.
of the month.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the other thing, what we're beginning to find now is people say, well, I don't use this in my commodities. Can I bring it down to the food pantry?
Okay.
And they do. And so
Okay.
we say, sure,
Yeah.
bring it down.
We've said that often with our mobile food distribution
Yes.
because those boxes are pre-packed and yours are too, and so it's not really choice. It's
Right,
It's
right.
This is what we're able to
We
give.
got, yeah.
And some people will say, I don't eat fish, or I don't know what to do with split peas,
Yeah.
right? And so we say, give it to somebody who will eat
Yes.
it, or
Yep.
pass it along, take it to a local food pantry because we know that somebody will use that.
We'll use that. And occasionally, and this is partly why it's good to have meals too, because we can feature some of that stuff.
Yes.
I remember getting Brussels sprouts, and people go, oh, can't eat those. I said, well, if I would have boiled those like my mama did, I didn't eat them either.
Right.
But let me show you how to oven roast those
Yes.
with some yummy spices on them, and throw some other stuff in there.
Yep.
You will eat them. And sure enough, we made them. And
Same with
people
me.
taste them. Yep.
I always thought I didn't like Brussels sprouts,
Oh.
and then a friend introduced me to them and roasted them, and I thought, this is actually, I
Yep.
can eat this. And now
Yes.
if I don't necessarily make them at home, but if I go to a restaurant and that's a side offer, I will order them.
Yep, I will make them because my 8-year-old loves them.
So
How
eat
many
some like
8-year-olds
candy?
eat? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 So, how many people do you think in a month come and get a food box?
It varies from month to month, but we could have probably as many as 40 families. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. And in the community in Wamblee itself, right here in town,
Yes.
how many families do you think live in town?
I'm not sure, but probably I would guess at least maybe 100,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
families, and when you're thinking family, you're thinking multi-generational. So you could be talking 10, 15. 10 to 15 people.
I saw you coming.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I saw you coming. You're so excited. Yeah, you are.
10, 15 people in that family.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it could be that many.
Do you see a difference between rural? Do you see more out of town or rural families coming in for that food box? Is it pretty equal?
It's pretty equal.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty equal.
And then how many, in the school year, how many food packs do you think?
We do 150 a week
Wow.
because we service the elementary school.
Okay.
During the pandemic, we served the entire school all year round.
Wow.
Which was a lot.
That's a lot.
And then we also collaborated with another organization and serviced the whole reservation
Oh, my
with
goodness.
food packs. So that was about 450 every 3 weeks.
Oh,
So,
my goodness. That's a
so
lot of work.
We got busy. Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
We got busy.
And you've said to me before, and I think this is an important thing about the work that you do, is that it's not just handing people a box.
No.
People come in and they push a broom, or they say, how can I help today?
Yes.
Because
yes.
they want to earn that box.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
important. That dignity
Really.
is important.
And I have people even come in and just said, I said, oh, did you come down to help me because you love me? Well, of course I love you, Mira. What can I do?
Yeah,
And
you can go in the garden and pull the
go
weeds.
do that. Yeah, and they will more than willingly do that.
Yeah.
So it hasn't always been like that, but it certainly is being like that. They just come in to help, just to do stuff. I think Georgia's certainly a big help with that. She's from here and she knows everybody, and yeah, or they'll just come in. We have a community puzzle going all the time.
Oh, I love puzzle. I've never seen the puzzle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's sitting at the table. Gary was sitting there putting it together. We've put now 6 together, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's a community project.
Yeah.
People will come in and put some pieces in the puzzle, maybe have some water, a cup of coffee or something, and chat while they're doing it.
Yeah.
And then we glue them and put them up on the wall. Nice. So we can keep it.
And remember that you built it together.
And remember that we did it together. It's a community organizing kind of
And
tool.
it's really what families working together is. Like I feel like you've tied that so nicely together in that you do a multitude of things within your agency, but they're all an important part of the puzzle to make people whole.
Yes.
And being whole is really what they desire and what we want for people to be their best, right?
Absolutely. We have an artist coming in August every Thursday evening, and she's going to be teaching beadwork, and she's going to be teaching some native arts, and we're excited.
Yeah.
We're excited about doing that, and what we're finding now too is that other organizations are coming. The health department comes to do physicals at our building. The CAP office from Martin comes to do stuff at our building.
Yeah.
We want to be that place.
Right.
We want to be that multi-service place where whatever you need, we've got it.
And it goes all the way back to your comment about building relationships and trust, because then when those outside agencies come in to a place where you're saying, yes, come in, and people trust you, and they're more likely to use those services and be available for those services because you've created this comfortable space.
Yes. And I'm always trying, I always tell people it's come in with a servant heart. Come in with a servant heart, because if you're going to do that, then you can't fail.
Right.
And people will know that. And I'm careful about not letting some groups come, because they do represent us.
Yeah.
And I tell them right up front, look, you represent me.
Right. When I bring you in.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I set the bar high. So if you're choosing not to do that, then choose not to go somewhere else, please.
We've talked about that a little bit sometimes with some of the donations. People will send clothes that are ripped, or the buttons are missing, or appliances that may or may not work, and that's not helpful.
Not at all. And they're getting much better at it, though.
Good.
They're really doing well with it. Because I just tell them, look, Grandma's broken blender doesn't help us.
Right.
I'm sorry, it may have sentimental values to you.
Right. But now you have to figure out
now
how to get rid of it.
Right. I don't need that. I choose not. It doesn't have to be new, but in clothes, don't send me the zippers that are broke on a coat. What kid, when it's cold as it gets in South Dakota, is going to survive when you do that? That's not fair.
Fix the zipper and then send it.
Fix the zipper, or please keep it. Do something else with it. I don't care, but don't send it here.
Yeah.
Because I think that's important. I think we as donators need to learn that. Give your best. Don't give your worst.
Yeah.
Would you really want to receive that?
That's a good way to say it.
I remember I taught kindergarten years ago, and we did gifts for kids in Mexico. I had a friend that was taking them, and I said, I don't want your broken crayons. I don't want your used up coloring book. Think about the gift. The only gift you're going to open is the gift you're going to donate. Think about how you would want to open that gift. And if your doll has a leg broken off, don't do it.
Right.
And it was amazing. It really left some impact with the kids who are now in their 40s.
Yeah.
Are saying, I remember when you did that giving tree. And it was like, no, you're planting seeds.
You are. And it's exactly what's happening here, too. So what do you think the greatest need remains right now here in Wamblee?
Ooh, the greatest need? Wow. I'd say education and food. Because people need access to fresh food. They need access to knowing what to do with that fresh food.
Right.
You don't have to make something out of those strawberries all the time. Just eat them.
Just eat them.
Yeah.
Wash them and eat them.
That's right. And it's amazing because I do have strawberries in my tunnel, and they go, "Wow, this is what strawberries taste like?" I said, "Yes." Now taste them when I freeze dry. It's like strawberry candy.
Right.
And
but it's such an important thing to say, because even if somebody's on SNAP benefits,
Yes.
the cost of that fruit is a lot, and so it's something that tends to be skipped.
Well, sure.
But yet it's the healthiest for you. So if
It
you can
is.
learn to grow it,
Yep.
and I think it's best from the garden too.
Well, it's the most nutritious because if you think about the food had to come from somewhere else. Generally, if it's fruit especially, is not ripe when you pick it because it would be rotten by the time you get it.
Yep.
So you don't nutrition starts to fall apart within 24 to 48 hours once you
harvesting.
pick something. Yes. So if you can go get it out of the garden and bring it into your table,
Yep.
you can't get any fresher unless you eat it in the garden, and the taste is just so different that, well, you didn't think you liked that? Wow. It's just so different. It's amazing.
I had somebody tell me, I've tried to garden. I've tried 3 times, but you're inspiring me, so maybe I'll try again. But
Try a container garden.
I should. But I had somebody tell me once that the best thing about gardening is harvesting, because it's like pick 2, eat 1, pick 2, eat 1, and then you don't have to make supper because you're full by the time you go in from picking the garden.
Sucks for the rest of the family, but
yeah, but you're good. You're good. Here, I just picked peas and beans. You go ahead and eat that.
Right.
So, yeah. So what's the future look like here?
Ooh, the future looks like we are focusing on our housing issues. And like I said, I'm a recycle reuse person.
Yeah.
So we are organizing a group with some external support to try to build tiny homes, modeling and patterning much after the habitat type